What's up, family? Man, this is gonna be rough. It is what it is. Man, first, man, I want to give a shout out to this young man out of Louisiana by the name of spiralspeck. Man, I appreciate you. I honor you. I salute you. I thank you for this beautiful piece. Man, he made me one before and it got stolen. Um, and he was, man, made me another one. This one's a lot better than the other one. You know what I mean? This one came out a lot better anyways. You know what I mean? So I truly appreciate it. Man, it's like 15 different types of crystals in this, beautiful work. Um, spiralspeck. I appreciate you. I honor you. I salute you. I thank you. For those of you that are interested in jewelry that he makes with crystals, I'll put his contact information, his contact email and stuff in the description. That being said, we're talking about, man, a heavy heart, a heavy heart, a heavy heart. I love the way God works. I love the way he just in confirmations. You know what I mean? I was sitting there getting ready for this video, and this young lady had a session with me, and some of the things that we're talking about was just mind-boggling. How just it was all in alignment with this video right here. It's like, man, God, I thank you. And so I'm sitting there listening to her talk, and I'm talking to her and I'm just smiling because it's like, man, this is what I'm talking about in this video, and I told her, man, I'm getting ready to make a video talking about this stuff. I don't want you thinking now I'm talking about you, putting your business out there. Man, this was on my heart to have this conversation. And so that's what we're going to talk about today, a heavy heart, a heavy heart. One of the things that I love about the ancient Egyptian, culture and belief system is the story of Ma'at. And Ma'at talks about one of the stages of Ma'at was that you would go through after you passed away. Your body would go through different stages, and part of that stage was you were, your body, your mummified body went through in the presence of double Ma'at, and your heart was still within your body, but your heart was pulled out and is put on the scale, and your heart was weighed next to a feather. I believe it was an ostrich feather. And if your heart and the feather balanced each other out, that meant that you had a good heart, you had a pure heart, and you were allowed to continue on and to the promised land, if you will. You know what I mean? If your heart was heavier than the feather, man, your heart, your soul was supposedly consumed by this monster, this animal that was part hippo, part leopard, and part something else. I can't remember the other part, but there's 3 different parts to this animal that would consume your heart and your soul. Stay with me, I'm going somewhere. And what does that got to do with a heavy heart? So many of us walk around with a heavy heart. We have a heavy heart because of the things that we've gone through. We have a heavy heart because of the things that we're carrying with us. We have a heavy heart because of the things we won't let go of. We have a heavy heart because we won't forgive. We have a heavy heart because we're not grateful. We have a heavy heart, because the trauma and the pain that we haven't healed. We have a heavy heart because of our ignorance. Oh, stay with me. We're going somewhere today. And it won't take long to get there. And so as I sit there and I'm like, oh God, what are we talking about? God, help me, help me, help me. God's like, Elijah, share with the people that, man, you've got to learn how to loosen up. You got to learn how to let go of the pain, let go of the trauma, let go of the baggage that you're carrying, because that creates a heavy heart. See, we don't understand how that, man, we feel so overwhelmed, so burdened down, so heavy. And it's not that we feel heavy because of life. We feel heavy because of our attachment to life. We feel heavy because of our attachment to the crap that we've gone through. We feel heavy because of our feelings and our thoughts that we haven't learned how to change our perspective and learn how to see it from the perspective of God. And because our perspective is twisted, we have a heavy heart. We live up under pressure. And interpret so often, we don't think that it's that bad for us. talking to a young lady the other day at work, and man, she had a situation take place on a job, and it's like, man, you got to go to the hospital. You got to get this checked out. Too many of us are dying. Too many people that we know have had a heart attack just this year and died. People my age group dropping dead from heart attacks. And man, they felt fine. They were good. To them. And the truth is, we've lived up under so much pressure that pressure becomes normal for us. There's nothing normal about that pressure. There's nothing normal about the chaos that we're living with. There's nothing normal about the hell that we're going through. It's just normal to us because it's always been like that. We've gotten accustomed to having that much pressure on us. So many of us, we numb it. We become numb to the pain, numb to the chaos. It's normal. And so we have this heavy heart, not knowing that it's creating disease within us, not knowing that we're having side effects and heart attacks and high blood pressure and strokes and cancers and all these other different things because of our heavy hearts. Because of the crap we're carrying, the toxic crap that we're carrying, and we haven't learned how to let go. See, due to a heavy heart, man, your body can react to a heavy heart in a number of different ways. You can have a heart attack, you can have a stroke, you can have seizure, you can have an aneurysm, you could get cancer, high blood pressure, low blood. Your body can react to your heavy heart a number of different ways. That's your body's way of saying, hey, something ain't right here. Something ain't right here. Something's wrong with this picture. Something's wrong with you. Why do you feel so stressed out? Why do you feel so exhausted and you ain't done shit yet? Why are you waking up in the morning and you're just overwhelmed and exhausted? First thing in the morning. Why do you feel so depressed? Why are you so full of fear and anger? Why can't you go to sleep at night? Why can't you get a good night's sleep? Why don't you have a healthy appetite? I'm talking about heavy hearts. Heavy hearts. And see, there's the trick. In Egypt, ancient Egypt, they said that your heart was heavy because you done wrong in your life. They said your heart was heavier than a feather because you lived out of balance. Your heart was heavier than a feather because of your deeds that wasn't in alignment with the will of God. You've done wrong. You've cheated. You've lied. You've murdered. You've done something outside of the will of God. And so that gave you a heavy heart. Today, you could get a heavy heart from so many different things. And all of those things come down to the same thing. You're not living in alignment with God, source, the universe. You're not living in alignment. You can't live in alignment with God and walk around with unforgiveness. You can't live in alignment with God and walk around with self-hatred. You can't live in alignment with God and walk around with low self-esteem. You can't live in alignment with God and walk around with jealousy and hatred and rage and racism and a whole bunch of other things, being homophobic and all that other stuff. Yeah. See, when you have a heavy heart, that's God's way of telling you, hey, I know you think you're all that. I know you think you're super spiritual. I know you think you're super spiritual, super religious. But there's something wrong with you. You can pray all you want to pray, but that's not going to fix your heavy hearts. You can fast all you want to fast, but that's not going to fix your heavy hearts. We're going to have a heart to heart. I'm going to have to show you my heart in order for you to see your heart. The heart of God is light. Light. Catch that. Our hearts, for the most part, are heavy. And so when you have a heavy heart, you can't have joy. When you have a heavy heart, you can't have peace. When you have a heavy heart, there's no happiness. What's robbing you of your joy, your peace? Why do you have a heavy heart? What is it that you're carrying that you haven't let go of? What is it that you're not dealing with? That you're not even acknowledging? That's making your heart heavy. See, when we look at our ailments in our body, when we look at the ailments within our mind, for the most part, we can fix that if we understand it. And we can understand it by looking at what ails my heart. What's hurting my heart? What's making my heart heavy? Why am I walking around with this heavy, broken heart? And when I fix that, the domino effect is I could fix the rest of me. The rest of me is messed up because my heart is messed up. My heart is messed up because I'm not connected to God like I think I am. I know you're super spiritual. I know you're a religious fanatic, but your heart is messed up. Your heart's not connected to God's heart. If you were to take that test, the weighing of your heart, you would fail. If the truth be told, your heart wouldn't match, wouldn't be balanced with that of a feather. Because you're carrying unnecessary trauma. You're carrying unnecessary drama. You're carrying unnecessary baggage. Because you haven't learned how to let go. You refuse to let go. What's wrong with your heart? My heart was messed up for a number of different reasons. A number of different reasons. I was mad at my daddy. I was mad at my mama for dying. I was mad at the people that raised me. I was mad at the people that molested me. I was mad at the people that broke my heart. I was mad at me. Because I didn't understand. Because I didn't understand, I held unforgiveness to each of these groups. My daddy, my mama, me, the people that molested me, my aunties, my uncles, and the church people. I didn't forgive these people for the pain and the suffering that they caused me. I hadn't forgiven these people for judging me so harshly and for judging me wrong. I hadn't forgiven these people for their abusive nature towards me. I hadn't forgiven these people for not loving me the way I thought I needed to be loved. And so I grew up with a heavy heart. And so the process of lightening my heart meant that I had to go back in and work through the different groups and forgive all of these people, including myself. I had to go back in and understand why my heart was heavy, why I was so full of anger and hatred, why I hated Christians, why I hated my daddy, why I hated my family, why I hated me. I had to understand that. Then I had to forgive myself and forgive them. I had to forgive myself for not understanding the big picture. I had to forgive myself for reacting wrongly. See, I saw so many of the things that transpired in my life, and I understood it a certain way. But then when I got connected to God and I saw God's view of what transpired in my life, it's like, oh man, I saw that totally different. I saw that totally wrong. I completely missed this. I completely misunderstood this situation. And because I misunderstood this situation, I reacted wrong. I would have responded totally different if I knew then what I know now. I would have responded totally different if I'd seen the heart of God, if I'd understood what God was doing, if I'd understood why God allowed certain things to happen. I would have responded totally different. But I didn't have that information. And so I reacted from anger and hate and low self-esteem. I reacted out of fear. Fear of being judged. Fear of not being good enough. Fear of being abandoned and rejected. I'm talking about a heavy heart. And so when I went back down memory lane, re-looking at every one of these situations and seeing it from the right perspective, seeing it through the eyes of God, I stopped looking at those situations the way I did. I stopped looking at those people the way I did. I stopped judging those people the way I was. I stopped looking at me the way I did. I stopped judging me the way I was. And I became compassionate. I became understanding. Because it occurred to me, hurt people hurt people. And every one of those people had been hurt. I had been hurt. And because I was hurt, I was reacting out of my hurt. I'm talking about a heavy heart. A heavy heart. didn't have any joy. I didn't have any peace. I didn't have any happiness. All the things that I thought would bring me joy, peace, and happiness, it was all superficial. It was all temporary excitement. It was never lasting. It wasn't real. It wasn't until I began lightening my heart by letting go of the past, by healing the past, by changing my perspective of the past, that my heart became light. And when my heart became light, joy came. When my heart became light, peace was there. When my heart became light, happiness was there. I didn't have to do anything to have joy. I didn't have to do anything to have peace. I didn't have to do anything to have happiness because my heart was light. Joy, peace, and happiness were there. I didn't have to go searching for them. I woke up with them. I went to bed with them because my heart was light. My heart was light. And you can only lighten your heart by letting go of the past, by letting go of your attachment to the different things you've gone through. It is that attachment to your experiences that makes your heart heavy. We've got to let that go. We got to heal that process in order for you to have a light heart, in order for you to have joy, peace, and happiness. That peace that passes all understanding. That joy and that peace that you just wake up in the morning and you just got it. And you're just so grateful. See, it's gratitude that helps make your heart light. Because gratitude is the right perspective. Gratitude for the things you've endured. Gratitude for the things that you've gone through. That's how you know you're healed. When you can take the same things that made you angry and bitter and toxic and just hateful and all that, when you can take those exact same experiences, those exact same circumstances and things, and now you have gratitude for them. Genuine gratitude. That's how you know you're in alignment with God. That's how you know you're in complete alignment with Source. When you could sit there in every situation you've gone through, you could sit there and smile and be like, dang, because I went through this trauma, this traumatic thing, Man, look at this that I've gained from that. Look at the knowledge and the wisdom and the insight that I gained from that. Look at these experiences that I gained from that. And look at that. When you can see the beauty of the pain, when you can see the beauty of the chaos, when you can see the beauty of the ugliness that you've endured, when you can see the beauty in it, when you stop seeing the pain from it, and see the beauty in it. The beauty, what am I talking about? The wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding. When you can sit back and see how much you've grown from what you've gone through. That's the beauty. That's the blessings attached to the lesson. when you can see how your life has been transformed, when you can see how your heart has been lightened, when you can see how when this was full of chaos and trauma and pain and suffering and rage and just all kinds of crazy toxic shit, and now it's just full of love and peace and happiness. Now it's full of wisdom and insight. In the past, all you wanted was retaliation, and now you just want to be a blessing to others. To now, you just want to be a beacon of hope, a beacon of love, a beacon of light to others. That's the blessing of having a lightened heart. That's the blessings of your heart being balanced with a feather. How light is your heart? I could tell you how light your heart is by how light your mind is. I could tell you how heavy your heart is by how heavy your mind is. Catch that. You can't have a heavy mind and a light heart. You can't have a heavy heart and a light mind. We have to grow up. We have to grow up. Man, hope and pray that I said something to encourage you, to inspire you. You can have a light heart. You can have a light mind. You can have that joy that passes all understanding, but you have to be willing to put in the work. Happy healing. Peace.